Hey there, welcome to Izzo's place. Thirsty Thursday. So you might have seen the short. In the short, I was in Florida, Florida Izzo, and this came back with me after that neck pour. So let's go ahead and crack this, then I'll talk about the bottle a bit, and then we'll get back into it. This is the first long review with my new setup. I've added a front bar to Izzo's place, to the little speakeasy, and at the end of this video, I'll give you a quick tour. And it's just temporary, but it's a lot nicer than what I was dealing with. Anyway, I'm going to give it one quick nosing, minimal notes. I'm going to taste it once with no notes, and then we're going to let this glass sit for a bit while we talk about the bottle. It's a lot of caramel, a lot of cherry. There's some grains in there too. Ooh. It's pretty spicy. There's a good bit going on there. So we're going to let that sit for a moment. We're going to talk about the bottle and where I got it. 291 barrel proof single barrel Colorado whiskey. Hand distilled and bottled by Distillery 291, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Aspen stave finished. Distilled from a rye malt mash. 64.3% alcohol by volume, or 128.7 proof. Yeah, it is pretty proofy, and I'm feeling it. It's a barrel 745, and this is apparently the 25th out of 46 bottles. So that's telling me it's a smaller barrel, but I don't have a way to guess what size. 46 bottles, normal 53 gallon. Yeah, but this is cast strength. Normal 53 gallon barrel should get you like 280 bottles. So this is almost a sixth of that. So a sixth of 53. This might have come from a 9, 10, 11 gallon barrel. So small barrels age faster, and that explains this. Distillery 291 aged at least 1 year in an American oak barrel. And then they give the website, live fast, drink responsibly. Those almost seem counterproductive. Government warning, barcode. That's all I got for you. Now it did win, it's like 6 awards there on the front of the bottle. World Whiskey Awards from 2018, World's Best Rye. San Francisco World Spirits Competition 2018 double gold. The American Whiskey Masters Spirits Business Master 2019. Something Awards 2019 Platinum. I think it says the STP Awards. Hold on, forgot. Got a flashlight right here. Looks like STP Awards. Denver International 2017 and something. They covered up the other date, but it got double gold in those 2 competitions. We got the International Wine and Spirit Competition, took gold in 2018. Judges scored 90 to 92.9. So it's got some accolades. That's nice. So I bought it when we were taking tools and other things down to the Florida job. I stopped at a liquor store. I don't remember what it was called in Georgia. And I got 6 or 7 bottles at that store that I was kind of looking for. I remember my Tin Cup 14 definitely came from there. This isn't the double oak. Don't get jealous. But I just got a regular 13th Colony. I got that there. Can't remember what else I got, but I bought enough stuff between me and Mrs. Izzo. She bought a couple of gins and a vodka. We bought enough stuff at this one liquor store that they were wanting to sell it at $160, and the retail for it's about $108, and they sold it to me for $100 because I'd spent so much money. They also offered to sell me a 13th Colony double oak, but I didn't feel like spending $700 on that. I'll just take my chance that someday I'm going to get a 13th Colony double oak, and I'm not paying $700 for it. But that's the story of the purchase of the bottle. That's the story of the bottle, what little I know. Let me just take one quick look. Mash bill undisclosed. Okay, no other information that I got on that little website. Alright, so let's go ahead and get back into this. It's quite strong, and I like drinking stuff cast strength, but sometimes with a cast strength, the flavors will be too intense, so this is when I would probably add a little water to, if I'm going to enjoy it properly. It's very intense on the nose. Definitely some typical rye spice notes in there. Can almost get a hint of the malt. For the rye, I usually get like mint and dill. This one's more dill. This one's more dill than mint. There's just like a hint of mint, just like way off in the background. But yeah, that's strong on the dill. And dill is like dill the herb, not a dill pickle. There's a difference. There's no vinegar in here. In case you didn't know. I'd prefer to be Captain Obvious for you, rather than assume you know something you might not. So the dill comes through. There's caramel there. There's toast. It's kind of effervescent, almost like a not as carbonated as like a cola, a Coke, a Pepsi. More like a spring water, like a a bubbly spring water, more like that. Nice long finish. And there's some spices in there. I'm gonna have to go back in and check on the spices. So we had my initial nosing, we had that second nosing. This is the true second nosing. That first one don't count. So this is the true second nosing. See, and sometimes, as we've seen, sometimes my second nosing gets weird. The alcohol and the proof really jumps out in this bottle. Sometimes whiskeys will do that, sometimes they won't. It's real interesting. So there's like rye bread. So like toasted rye bread. Little hint of dill on it. I can't remember if I mentioned sweet notes on the first nosing. There's not a lot of sweet on the nose. Toasted rye bread, dill herb. There's the tiniest hit of a sugar or a vanilla. It's way in the background. There's not a lot of sweet going on here. It's kind of a neat pour. It's got a lot of nice flavors. It is just a tiny bit hard to drink. I'm gonna get some water. I'm trying not to trip over my own bar. And I know you don't see me put water in something for a nosing very often, but this guy's just a little bit on the harsh side. And I don't mind that. Just a little dollop. Let's see if that changes anything. Forgot to talk about the color though. It's amber, just a hint of red. And that's even after the water. Alright, on the nose. The nose is softer now. But it's still basically rye bread, toasted rye bread and dill. The sweetness is of vanilla. It's coming forward a little more than it was before. And maybe a hint of caramel on the toast. Alright, that's much easier to drink, but I don't think I lost any of the flavors. So adding that little dollop of water aided this immensely. Let's see if I can get any other flavors, because sometimes when you add water, you'll actually get new flavors. So let me see if I can get anything else for you. The sweetness, while not pronounced on the nose, the sweetness is now almost like a creme brulee. The scent of a creme brulee that they just burned in on the table in front of you. But the dill and the rye bread are still prominent. The creme brulee is just kind of like, I'm here, I'm dessert, whenever you're ready for me. So with the water, when it first enters the mouth, it's a little bit spicy, but then with the water now in the middle, it kind of goes creamy caramel. But on the back of the palate, on the finish, as I'm swallowing the pour, it returns to dill and rye there at the end. So like I said, paid $100 for this. $108 should be retail. I won't chase it down a backup, but after this is gone, if I see another one and I see it at $108 or less, I would probably pick it up. I also, if I come across them again, because I saw a bunch in Colorado on my recent road trip, if I come across other varieties of this brand, this distillery, I might go ahead and give it a shot as well. So if you like a more spicy rye whiskey experience, this is pretty good. I had to cut it with a little bit of water, and I might always cut it with a little bit of water, because I definitely enjoyed it more after that. Anyway, go ahead and stay tuned after my catchphrase and after a couple of pictures. I'm going to give you a tour of what state the speakeasy's in. Yeah, and we'll go from there. So anyway, if you're working, work safely. If you're drinking whiskey, please drink responsibly. but do everything with a little bit of whimsy, and you're going to have a good time. And I will see you next time you're hanging out at the ever-evolving, always changing Izzo's Place. Okay, things are kind of clean for a change. That's, of course, what you're used to seeing. So I don't know if I drew attention to this in any videos, but that is actually a whiskey decanter, and so is that. And they happen to both have Jim Beam whiskey in them still. So it's only 80 proof, but I don't know how old it is. It might be early 80s, might be late 70s. I was not able to figure out a date on those, but eventually those get opened. All right, so here's the back bar, stuff you're used to seeing. But getting just a more complete view. And yeah, the problem goes down to those cabinets as well. Now here's the new thing. So, got my back bar. And if that looks familiar to you, there's a reason. There's a reason. Because I tore it out of a piano. So the front of my bar, my friends can play strings while they sit there and annoy me. So it's my piano bar. Never gonna give you up, never gonna do. Anyway, it amuses me. Okay, so I'm embarrassed to show this, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it. So the majority of that pile is comic book boxes, but there's a lot of other junk that I gotta sort through. It's all on top of a beautiful desk, so eventually the desk will get uncovered. Got some Route 66. That's a part of a fuel tank that I didn't need, so I hung it on the wall. Poster. Marline Traveler gave that to me. Picked up a Luke Skywalker print from a Comic-Con. I like that. And the frame, I don't remember what was in the frame originally, but I put that in there. And of course, recently on a short, I went ahead and showed you I hung those cabinets, so those have whiskey and glasses and such in it. My very interesting swords. So there is whiskey in this, and there's also wine in this now, but that's for another day. Got my 2 barrels that are cooking. See how it goes. Just a normal fridge. These are the bottles that aren't opened yet. Future content. I have to clean my dry erase board. Draw a new calendar or something. This wall's blank. That's my whiskey tote. Fount leather goods. So that's the state of the bar at this time. A work in progress, and I don't think I can move any more forward on this bar until I clean the shop. Shop is still trashed, but by bringing in this and the board that it's attached to, and by bringing in these cabinets and this cabinet, it gives me a lot more room out there. So I'll be able to start putting, well, I could show you down here too, when I think of it. All right, so nothing special. Cleaning supplies. Yep, took it to the bar. That's all right. Got a cooler for when I need it. For those of you that stayed at the end, which is probably Phyllis Walker, Tom, maybe Lynette. Thanks for watching that. Some more glasses, some crackers, some tea, utensils. What looks better to you on camera? Oh, standing straight to the posture. Do you like the lean? Right, what do you like better? Because I may as well just do whatever you guys like. I could also eventually get a bar stool and sit down like I was sitting down before. Yeah, please let me know in the comments. Or if you have detailed critiques of what you see here, email me at heyizzo@yahoo.com. Welcome to Izzo's Place. Maybe you saw the short. The short was in Florida, but this bottle came back up north with me. This is a bottle of 271 barrel proof single barrel Colorado whiskey. Hand distilled and bottled by Distillery 291, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Aspen Stave finish, distilled from a rye malt mash. Oh, this fan is going. Let's get rid of the fan. Forgot the fan was on. It's a little bit loud. Alright, let's start again.